CUCV oil cooler hoses. Yes. These things are known problem with the truck. There was actually a recall on these back in the 80s. If you have a CUCV and you got a leak in your hoses, I guess you can go to the website, but call a local Chevrolet store, give them your VIN. The military might not have done the recall. You might get free hoses. Of course, what you get is non-GM made hoses. I think Dorman's the only things that make these, and they're worse than the originals. And the originals had to be recalled. They're whatever material hose into a press fit into aluminum with an O-ring fitting at each end. So my 1009, my original 1009, I noticed the last month or so when I started up in the mornings, the oil light stays on a little bit longer than all the rest of the trucks. It's like, And then I started noticing I had a little bit of oil on the driver's side front fender, inner fender well. And so it was the O-rings. So I pulled it apart, swapped the O-rings, put back in, didn't fix anything. And I kept on getting oil residue there. And if I parked on a clean spot, concrete somewhere else, I noticed a drop or two of oil on the ground, black diesel oil. It's like, okay, need to do these hoses. Well, Sappy, I need to do an update on Sappy, I know, but Sappy's doing pretty good, but its hoses look terrible. Then I got Red, my son's truck. So if I'm going to do that, I might as well do all three of them. So I'm going to do them right. I'm going to do AN steel braided hose. So I just did that on the 1009, and I thought I'd do a video about it. So here's what we got. The original hoses have, this is the engine end, front and rear right above the oil filter. This is the radiator end. I'll show you the truck in a second. So the way it works on the Chevrolet, on the diesel, is this fitting, 3/8 pipe thread, screws in the block. Then this screws into that. And there's an O-ring fitting spot there. That screws onto that. Okay? If you take these off the block by 3/8 pipe thread, or MPT, to -10 AN fitting, screwed in the block, you can then screw in an AN hose down there, except straight ones don't work, in my opinion. Yes, you could probably make them work, but I don't want to because the exhaust is right there. And I don't want it up against the exhaust. So I put a 45 fit. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And then I made all my lines. Then I measured what I made. That's what I wrote down on here. I'll talk about that when I finish showing you. But you take this fitting, you remove these from the engine and the radiator area. You take this off the block. And this will, if you have, and this is, I only bought 2 of these, and I needed 2 of them. I'll put the part numbers in the description, but pretty much it's a female 3/8 MPT that screws onto this. That gives you a -10 end up at the radiator end, and that's where you got the straight fittings. Straight fittings go right in. Okay. I will put all the part numbers. There's 37 inches for the bottom one, 39.5 inches for the top fitting. That's how long the braided steel hose is. 2 straights, 2 45s. And then you need 2 of these to go in the block and 2 of the female 3/8 to take this to be able to go back into the O-ring at the front. All right, so let me show you what we got. I'll start down below and show you what we got. Yeah, I thought I was being smart this morning. It was pouring down rain. Ooh, summertime, it's raining. That means it's gonna be cool. What are we in here? 94 degrees in here. Yeah, the sun came out. All right. There's, get the light facing up. Maybe. Yeah. There you go. I got 45s because the exhaust manifold is right there and I'm not touching it. And I got it to where it goes just above the frame. You can see where it comes out the outside of the frame. I've run it, no leaks. You know, so a different distance from the front one is recessed further in the block than the one over the oil filter. So they're a little bit different sizes. All right, so that's underneath. Then up on top, and when I unplugged it, I did not plug the oil cooler pipes across the radiator and made a mess on my lift and floor and on me because I was underneath it for a while. All right, here's what we got up here. Up here, got the hoses coming on the frame, across the frame, back to the factory tie down right there. And then we go to right here. Get the light right. There it is. Okay. You can see the fitting I don't have the extra of. The black one, in between the brass one and the blue. That is the 3/8 MPT female with the -10 AN end on it. That just screws in. The brass ones are what were on my block. And I turn them around and put them here into the O-rings to the aluminum pipe going across. Now, on my cow dog, I did a video years ago about how I added a air to oil cooler on it. It works great. It works really good. The only thing is, why do we have no focus? I don't know. Go back to focus. Okay. Air to oil coolers in the summertime are not as efficient. In the wintertime, they are really good and the oil doesn't get warm enough. Engine oil needs, especially synthetic, needs to be above 200 degrees to do its job. Well, I never get over 185, maybe 190 on the cow dog on the oil in the summertime because I got that massive cooler out there. It does great. Wintertime, I'll be at 160 or so. So my oil is not getting up to temperature to do what it's supposed to do. Now, is it getting up to temperature of the turbocharger? You bet. I'm sure it is. It's doing what it's supposed to do in the areas I need it. But liquid to liquid coolers are more efficient. Having the way that the 6.5 is, all the 6.2s are set up, is the aluminum pipes going across in front of the fan, so that's air cooling a little bit. Then they go into the radiator and get cooled by the coolant, which means they'll be 195 to 200 degrees is what they'll be at. So it'll help it warm up quicker, so the oil's quicker warming up, and it will be more steady. All right. Now, the reason I replaced the hoses, 2 of the engines I have, or got over the years, one I know is because the oil cooler hose broke and the person kept driving and it just cooked the engine. The front main bearing, number 1 main bearing is what goes first because the oil comes from the pump, sitting in the pan, to the, I think it goes to the filter, then from the filter to the cooler, back, and then to the main journals in the back of the engine, to the front, then from there up to the cam, down the cam and lifter galleries, up the push rods to the rockers, and all back to the pan again. So the front main is the one that goes bad. I've had 2 engines that I've bought or were given or just required that the front mains were gone. Just the crankshaft was blue or broken and the bearings, the shells were gone. They ran out of oil. Normally it's because one of these coolers goes and you don't know it. So I went -10, and the AN system is supposed to be, the 10 should be 10/16, which is 5/8. However, you put a micrometer on here, it's 1/2 inch. This is the, oh man, DPFE. Is that it? No. It's the white Teflon. I don't have that written down. I'll write it in the description what my stuff is. But I like it because pretty much this is a lifetime, this is a forever hose now. As long as it's not braided on the outside, and the stainless will help with, or the stainless steel braid will help with that. As long as it's not cut from the outside, it should not rot out from the inside. So I'm going to switch my vehicles over to this. And yes, I could have gotten black ones with cloth coating on them and all that kind of stuff and subdued fittings, but I want it so I can see if there's leaks. That's just me. So, okay, here we go. The front of the block, which is the recessed one forward on the block, it goes to the bottom on the front cooler. 45 degrees is what I used at the block. Both of them are 45 degrees. 37 inches, which would be bottom cooler. This one here is 37 inches long, then a straight fitting on this end. The rear of the block, top cooler, 45 degree fitting at the block, 39.5 inches, that's what I got this one at, and straight fitting over here too. That's it. These things are running, if you can find the brand new, I don't trust replacements, they're over $100. There's places that specialize in 6.2 and 6.5 diesels. They're selling these things basically, using these fittings like I am, $250 to $300. Doing 3 of them, I think I'm going to come out somewhere in the $70 to $80 a set fit. And if nothing else, that's great peace of mind to me, because that's cheaper than buying these things. And between the aluminum cracking, the thing doing the crimp not working, or the hose actually giving out, I'm much happier, much more peace of mind with the braided stainless steel. So 37 inches for one of them, 39.5 inches for the other. That's actually a little bit long. You could cut another inch, maybe 2 off of that at least. But I like it having slack. I don't want any tightness in there. And I don't have any tightness in there. It's all slack. So hopefully that helps somebody, or scared you if it made you aware of a problem you didn't know you had in your truck. Yes, these things are a problem. And I've already started up and started it. No leaks. I will drive it and report back if I have troubles, but I don't expect any troubles. All right, that should do it. Thank you for watching, and hopefully it helps somebody.